Hi there and welcome back. I did not have enough memory to record the whole of this course on one video, so I've had to put it into two separate videos. This is part 2 of the Spirit Guide and Automatic Writing course. In part 1, we looked at the various types of Spirit Guides, how they help us on a day-to-day basis, and what each of their purpose is. And in the second part of the video, the second part of the course, we'll be looking at how to see your guides, sense your guides, feel them, how to work with them, and we'll be doing some meditations and various exercises to help us to achieve that. So it should be quite fun. Thank you again for taking up this course, and without further ado, we'll get started. We'll jump straight into it. We'll first look at learning how to see our spirit guides. The first thing we need to do to help us see spirit guides is to rediscover our imaginations. And this is so much fun. You're going to have loads of fun, especially if you're a very creative and imaginative person. So hopefully you'll have fun. The reason why we have to rediscover our imaginations is because as an adult, we are too quick, far too quick to judge what we see. We put all our experiences down to our imagination or silly daydreams, where children, they readily and easily see their guides. And the reason they can see their guides so much easier than us adults is because they do not judge what they see. They accept it. They are comfortable with it. One of the saddest things is when a parent tells their child to grow up and stop living in a fantasy world, or to say that it's all in your imagination. Because children do not judge what they see, they can easily and readily connect with and see their guides. They spend many, many hours playing happily with their guides, their imaginary friends. I remember when I was I must have been about 5 or 6 years old, I had an imaginary friend called Julie. She was the same age as me, as a child, and she had shoulder-length blonde hair. I could see her and hear her as clearly as I can see and hear the people around me. I saw her with my physical eyes and I heard her with my physical ears. And I just loved spending so much time with her. I could talk to her about anything, and she would not judge me. She would listen, because she was my best friend. And at that time in my life, I'd gone through I had a very traumatic childhood, and I really needed a friend. And where I felt so alone and so isolated, I had this girl, this spirit girl, who was my friend, my imaginary friend. And she was someone who I could talk to, someone who was there to give me a cuddle when I was crying and be company when I felt really alone. So she was very important to me. So much so, I believed that she was real, so much so that I even used to beg my mum to set the dinner table for her. I'd say, please, Mum, can you set a table for Julie? Julie's going to have dinner with us. At first, my mum put up with my newfound friend. But as time went by and I got older, she told me to stop being silly, as Julie is only in my imagination. She's not real. Understandably, my mum was obviously worried. She thought something was wrong with me. And she said to me, look, you're getting older now. You can't keep going on about Julie. You know, she's not real. She's just in your imagination. She's a fiction of your imagination. I did as my mother said. And each time I saw Julie, I told myself, no, she's just my imagination. She's not real. She's not real. And I eventually blocked her out. Of course, you can guess what happened. Julie left and I never saw her again. For years and years, my family and I talked and laughed about my imaginary friend Julie. We still do. The truth was that Julie was not just an imaginary friend. This is what I realize now, but one of my spirit guides. And because I pushed her away by believing that she was just a fiction of my imagination, I stopped seeing her. That magic was taken away. And I stopped having that wonderful bond with her, which is incredibly sad. Because then I was left on my own in very traumatic life experiences, feeling very alone and not having anyone there to confide in or talk to or comfort. So it's so sad. It's so true for many, many people out there that as we get older, through society, through life, we're conditioned to close off our imaginations and block out anything that doesn't seem natural, anything that's supernatural, out of the ordinary, to put it down to imagination or put it down to a coincidence, put it down to lighting or something else, anything but a spiritual presence or psychic experience. So many of us have met and spent quality time with our guides. But as soon as we are told to grow up, we stop using our imaginations, which in turn puts up a block that stops us from seeing our guides. It's closing off our natural gifts, our natural abilities. It is actually not stopping us from seeing them, but instead believing what we see. We judge it, and we pass it off as our minds playing tricks on us. So the next set of exercises I'm going to be doing with you are all designed to help you reawaken your imagination. And this will help you to not disregard any experiences that you may have as just your imagination. It'll help to also open your third eye. Your third eye chakra is the chakra that helps you to see spirit. It'll also help you to open your other chakras, like your ear chakras for hearing and sensing, and it'll just help you to better connect with your spirit guides and angels. So they're fun. These are fun exercises. There'll be some meditations, some exercises, and we'll do them together. So yeah, let's jump into it. Okay, for those of you who already have a very strong imagination, you should find this and the following exercises quite easy to do. The stronger your imagination is, the easier you'll find the exercises. For those who find it hard to use their imagination, please don't worry. This exercise may take a bit more work or just a bit more practice. But the more you practice, the more you do it, the easier it will become. It's just a matter of time and a matter of practice. So don't feel disheartened. Persevere with it. Keep doing it, even if you have to do it 2, 3, 4 times. Just keep persevering with it. And in time, you'll find it will get easier and easier. And once you have learned how to reawaken your imagination, it's just going to be amazing. It'll be such a satisfying and rewarding experience for you. So we're going to do a little exercise now, which is to help you reawaken your imagination. So we'll jump into that. I'd like for you to find somewhere nice and quiet where you'll not be disturbed. You can either sit or lay down, whatever feels most comfortable for you. The main thing is just to get yourself in a nice, comfortable position. Close your eyes and just bring all your focus and your attention onto your breathing. Take in deep, slow breaths. Hold for a few seconds and release slowly, and just really bring your attention to your breathing and how your stomach rises and falls with each breath. So if you could do this now, and then we'll proceed. Okay, once you feel completely relaxed, I'd like for you to please imagine that you are walking in a beautiful field. Really take yourself to this field. What does the field look like? Take note of your surroundings. Are there a lot of trees or a lot of grassland? Are there animals in this field? Is there a stream? What is the weather like? Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it snowy or raining? Really take note of your surroundings. Not just taking note, try and feel, for example, if it's cold, feel the cold, crisp air. If it's hot, feel the sun rays on your skin. If it's windy, feel the wind blowing through your hair. Try and make this vision as deep and as realistic as you can. I'd like for you now to move away from this field and go to a place where you feel most happy and content. In your imagination, take yourself to some place that you know that just makes you so happy and so content. Where are you? What do your surroundings look like? Who and what is there? Take in every detail. Take it in as much as possible. Make your vision be as clear as you can. Feel what the earth or the ground feels like under your feet. Run your hands across any furniture, if there is furniture. What does it feel like? Open all your senses and your imagination. Feel it as though and see it as though you're actually there. Now try to imagine yourself in 10 years from now. What would you like to be doing in 10 years from now? What do you look like and where do you live? What job do you have? Try to imagine what your life would be like in 10 years from now. Take as long as you like to do this exercise, and really, again, use your imagination. Imagine you're there. Actually see yourself in the future in 10 years from now in as much detail. Open all your senses. What do you feel? What do you see? What do you sense? We'll now move on to another exercise, which is the memory exercise. Like before, just find somewhere nice to relax and lay down where you'll not be disturbed, and just bring all your awareness to your breathing. Just all that focus on your breathing, become completely relaxed. I would like for you to choose a memory. It could be any memory, but ensure it is one that made you feel really happy, brought you a lot of joy. So choose a good memory, a favorite memory, a memory of something that meant a lot to you and that brought you a lot of happiness and joy. And I'd like for you to relive that memory now. Try to remember how you felt. Relive those feelings, re-feel the feelings that you felt at the time. Rediscover that special time, that special moment in your life. How did you feel? What was the memory all about? And who did you share that memory with? Try and remember this memory in as much detail as you can. Remember what the weather was like. Feel it. Feel what you felt during the time of that memory. How did you feel? Take in your surroundings. See this memory as though you're actually reliving it. Relive it now during this meditation. We'll now do the next exercise, which is the circus exercise. Again, just make sure you're comfortable, relaxed, and you have everything you need. Bring all your awareness and your focus to your breathing. Please excuse the sounds in the background. Just bring all your awareness to your breathing and allow yourself to become extremely relaxed. And we'll jump into it. I'd like for you to imagine that you are visiting a circus. With this particular meditation, it'll be slightly different to the others. What we'll do is I'm going to walk you through this process. So the first thing I'd like for you to do is to imagine that you are standing outside a large circus tent. Take note of what this tent looks like. Do not enter into the tent yet, just stand outside. Take note of your surroundings. What do you smell? What do you feel? What's the weather like? Where is this circus? What does this large circus tent look like? Take in as much detail as you can. I'd like for you now to enter into the circus tent. What do you see when you first enter? Is there a lot of people there? What types of animals do you see? Find somewhere to sit and take note of where you're sitting in the tent. Also, who's sitting next to you? What do they look like? See and feel everything in as much detail as you can. The conductor now walks onto the stage. What does he look like? And what is he wearing? He introduces the first act. What is it? Watch this act unfold. Use your imagination. The first act is now finishing off. Everyone is clapping, and so are you. Did you enjoy that act? The conductor re-enters the stage and introduces the next act. What is it? Once again, watch the act play out. Be as imaginative as you can. The conductor now re-enters the stage as the second act is coming to an end. Everyone's clapping, and so are you. He now introduces the third and final act. What is it? Again, play this act out. This is your vision. Anything can happen. Be imaginative. This final third act is finally coming to an end. Everyone is clapping, and so are you. I'd like for you now to bring your awareness back to your breathing. Just clear your mind, come back to the here and now, and focus on your breathing. Keep breathing until you feel ready to come out of this meditation. Feel yourself stirring more and more, coming back to reality and back to the room where you are in. I'll now share with you a few other ways of how you can open up your intuition and your imagination, how you can reawaken your imagination. These are just little tips and hints that will really help you. So one is to be more creative, as when you do creative work, it helps to fire up your imagination. People who do a lot of artwork and work with color and who are very creative, they are more likely to see their spirit guides and angels. Their intuition's a lot more opened, and their imaginations are vivid. So they find it easier to connect with guides and angels. So the more creative you are, the better. If you do not, if you're not a creative person, then please don't worry. Just do whatever you can that's creative, even if it's just drawing. Even if you can't draw, just draw. You never know, you may surprise yourself. You may find some hidden gifts and talents in the arts and crafts that you didn't realize you had. Yeah, so that's another tip. Another one is to try and daydream as much as you can. Remember that in your daydreams, you can be anywhere you like. You can be whoever you want to be. You can have the life that you've always dreamed of having. You can daydream about anything. It's your daydreams. You are the creator. Be as creative as you can. Daydream at least 2 times a day, maybe even every night before you go to sleep. Create a beautiful daydream in your mind. Daydreaming is free, it's fun, and it's highly imaginative. If you do not have a strong imagination, then again, don't worry. Just take your time. Keep practicing. Practice and practice. Practice makes perfect. And before you know it, you'll be daydreaming all the time. You'll just love it. Also, the more that you daydream about the different things that you want to happen in your life, the more energy you're sending out to the universe, which is actually helping to bring your daydreams or your dreams into reality. It's also a form of manifestation. Especially when you really use all your senses, when you actually feel, you allow yourself to feel the emotions that you'd feel. You imagine that you're actually there in your daydreams. Feel like the grass or the mat beneath your feet. Feel things. So keep practicing. So you'll be manifesting as well as reawakening your imagination and heightening your intuition. So it's a fantastic way, and it helps in all areas, really. It helps you to reawaken your imagination as well as manifest and heighten your intuition, and as well as develop all your 6 senses, which is the 6 senses that creates our intuition. That's what our psychic abilities are. It's heightened senses. And so this will be covering all of these, just from daydreaming and really being creative. Another thing you can try to do is to train your mind to be more open to the impossible. Stop putting things down to your imagination or coincidences, things like that. If something strange or unusual or out of the ordinary happens, then do not judge it. Be open-minded. Trust what you see and what you feel and what comes to you. Try and retrain your mind to not block out anything that just doesn't seem rational. Start trusting what you feel, trusting what you believe, trusting that feeling you get deep inside your gut intuition. Another thing is to try practicing asking your guides and angels for help, even if it's only for little things. Just ask for their help. Try and get into the habit or the routine of asking for that extra spiritual help, even if it's like, please help me to find the perfect parking space for my car, or I'm really struggling with this particular task, please help me out, make it easy, make me get this task done with ease, anything like that. That'll help you to build that bond and that connection with your guides and your angels. And the more you ask them for help, and the more you say thank you every time they help you, the more you'll find them working in your life on your behalf, and you'll feel their presence more around you. So that's a good way of something else that you can try. Also try to overcome any guilty feelings that you have about asking for help, because I know some people do struggle to ask for help. I'm one of them. I'm terrible when it comes to asking for help or with anything. So try and just release those guilty feelings. Remember, your guides and angels want you to ask them for help. They want to help you. They want to assist you. That's their purpose. That's why they're here. And they'll be more than happy to help, as much as they can. They love helping you. So once you've got used to that, it's just a practice again. Everything, it is practice. It's just keep practicing and practicing. And with practice, it makes perfect. Each and every day, try and spend at least 5 or 10 minutes just listing all the things that you're grateful for, all the things in your life that are blessings, things you're grateful for, things you appreciate, because this will help you just to realize how blessed you are. And it also shows gratitude, and the more gratitude you put out there, the more that you will be blessed with, the more the angels will want to help you, your spirit guides will want to help you. So, and also it raises your vibration, and the higher our vibration rises, the more in tune we become, the more our intuition develops, it grows, it heightens, and the easier it'll be for us to connect with our spirit guides and angels. Because our spirit guides and angels, they vibrate at a higher level than we do. So in order for us to hear our guides and angels, see them and connect with them, we need to be constantly raising our vibration. Again, I've got plenty of courses on how to do that. But doing that, it is just being gratitude, showing gratitude, being grateful for what you have. That automatically raises your vibration. And it's always important to try and pick subjects or things to learn and grow that inspire you. So that's another thing you can do, learn new subjects. This will help to just reawaken your mind. It'll train your mind to become stronger, and it all helps. Another good way of, connecting with your guides really is to maybe each day find a little slot. Could be, maybe pick a certain time of each day. Could be before you go to sleep each night. That's when you know you're not going to be disturbed. You're going to be on your own. And that'll be your special time where you spend, even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes talking to your spirit guides. Make that your special time with them, like a special appointment you have with them each evening, where you say, my dear guides, I'd like to connect with you each night, or whatever time it is for you. You pick a time, and say each day at the specific time, I'd love to connect with you. And then you can just lay down or sit down or whatever it is, and just connect with your guides. Say hello, talk to them, and say, hello, I hope you're there. Please help me to feel your presence. Are you with me? Are you in the room? Take note of what the room feels like. Do you feel any changes, any air, cool air, warm air, pressure changes, any sensations? And then just talk to them. Say, thank you. Who's here? Which guides are with me? What would you like to tell me? And just quiet your mind and just trust whatever comes through. You may have images, you may feel feelings, you may get sensations, you may have the odd word pop in your mouth, your mind. Just trust whatever comes through to you, and then just talk to your guides. Tell them your troubles, and or just talk and connect, and make that your special time, your special appointment time with your guides every evening or every morning, or at a specific time each day. That's just an idea of how you can build a stronger connection with your guides. I'd like to now move on to the next stage, and this next stage is I'll teach you how to create an inventory of your life. So that should be quite fun, and yeah, we'll begin. This next exercise is designed to help you create a stronger connection with your guides, and for you to share with your guides your concerns and your worries, to help you learn how to ask for their help without feeling guilty, and also to build that stronger connection, that stronger working connection with your spirit guides and angels. So all you need to do is get a pen and a piece of paper, sit down somewhere where you feel comfortable, and just take a long, hard look at your life and where you want to be in your life. Where do you want to go in your life? Look at what is working in your life and what is not working. So you can obviously pause this video and rewind to do this exercise. It will take as long as you need. There's no need to rush. Just take your time and spend as much time on this exercise as you can. Rushing it is the worst thing to do. Just take your time. Just look at your life as a whole. Where are you in your life now? Where do you want your life to go? What do you want your life to look like? What's working in your life? What's not working in your life? Write this all down. Just spend this time writing it down. Then once you've done that, then I'd like for you to please write a letter to your spirit guides, telling them all about yourself and your life. Make it very personal. Don't hold back. This is just you. No one else is going to see this letter. It's only you and your spirit guides and angels who will see this. So if there's things you feel ashamed about, just let it out. No one else will see it. You can even burn the letter afterwards so you ensure no one else sees it. This is you really being authentic, being open and honest with yourself and with your guides. Just speak your truth. Tell them about you, about your life. Share with your guides your hopes, your dreams, your goals, your aspirations, things that are important to you. Share with your guides how you are feeling, and ask them for help, any help that you need, any guidance you need. Tell them where you feel like you're struggling and you'd really love their support. Just really open up. If there's anything that you would like to tell your guides and angels, or anything that you would like to really thank them for, then use this time to thank them for their help. Make your letter as personal as possible, as personal to you and to your guides. Really let your guides and angels know that you would like to work with them and the type of help you would like and how you wish to proceed in your life. Like, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? How can you get there? Ask your guides to help you and let them know how grateful you are. Once you've finished writing your letter to your spirit guides, then you can close your eyes, take in 3 deep breaths very slowly, and say out loud or in your mind, I call upon my spirit guides and my angels. I have written a letter to you, and I hope that you will enjoy reading it. Then read out your letter. You can either read it out loud or in your mind. Just read it out. Once you have read out your letter, then you can keep it somewhere special, or you can burn it. Once you've burned it, you can sprinkle the ashes in your garden or somewhere that's special to you. You could do whatever you want with that letter, whatever you feel most comfortable with. Your guides would have already got that letter. They would have been there by your side as you wrote it. So this is just a really wonderful way to help you bond and connect with your spirit guides as well as your angels. And you could do this exercise as many times as you like, whenever you just feel like you need to connect with them. It's a beautiful exercise to do. Our guides and angels, they love to connect with you. They want to help you. And if you ask for their help, they will be there. They will help as much as they can. But please do remember that our guides and angels cannot make things happen, as they are not allowed to intervene in our lives. They can only help and advise us and guide us. We need to do our part too. So you can't just ask your guides and your angels to help you with something and then you not put the effort in, because they will not help in that way. How you do it is you ask your guides and angels for their support and their help, and then you ensure that you do your part. You play your part. You put in the time, the effort, and the energy too. So you're working together. You're collaborating with your guides to get the end result that you hope to get. Here's an example. I once did a reading for a man who was desperately looking for work. I'm not going to say names because I respect my client confidentiality. This is just an example. There was a man that I did a reading for, and he was desperately looking for work. While doing his reading, I advised the man to ask his spirit guides for help, as they wanted to help him. I also advised him not to give up searching for work, as I felt that he would find work within the next 3 months. If he worked together with his guides and continued to search for work, and he asked for their help, then I felt that he would get a job within the next 3 months. And I did convey this to him. I told him there was a job waiting for him, and all he had to do was ask his guides for angels and put in the work. 4 or 5 months or so later, I received an email from the man, and he was very angry and very disappointed. He sent me quite a harsh message. He said that he had asked his guides to help him to find a job, yet he was still out of work. So he was frustrated. It was understandable. He was angry. He was upset. He felt that I hadn't done him an accurate reading because he was still jobless. And so I felt empathy for him. I was understanding, and I could understand why he was frustrated. Literally soon afterwards, I had one of his spirit guides, the main spirit guide who was with me during the time that I did the original reading, come back to me. And this spirit guide spoke to me. He said that yes, the man had asked him to find a job, yet he still was out of work. And the reason being is because after the man had asked his guides for help, he didn't do anything. He sat back and waited for a phone call, waited for a letter, waited for the perfect job to land in his lap. The man had not done anything in order to try and find a job. He relied solely on his guides to do the work for him. His guides told me that he literally just stayed at home expecting this job to fall into his lap. They told me that there is a job waiting for him. He would be there, working there right now, but because the man had not put in the effort, he just left it all up to his guides. He had missed that opportunity. His guides were saving this opportunity for him and willing to give him the second chance. They've paved the way for him. They bring in this opportunity to him. The man just had to put that work in. So I replied to the man asking, even though I already knew the answer, but I asked what he had done to find work. And as expected, he replied back to me, saying to me that while he was waiting at home, waiting for a phone call, waiting for a letter, waiting for a job to become available for him. You see, he expected that his guides would do it for him. I then told him what his spirit guide had told me. I passed that message on. I was open and I was honest with him. And I said, look, if you would like to get this job, there is a job waiting for you. It's there. It's got your name on it. Your guides and angels have paved the way. They've put everything in place for you. All you have to do is put that effort in. Start searching for work and it will come. It will come. So I passed that message on to him, and the man took the advice. He took it. He said, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. About 3 weeks after that conversation, I got another email back from this man who was overjoyed, and he said to me he put an application through, he's been job hunting and job searching, he asked his guides for angels, he followed their advice, and 3 weeks later he got offered the perfect job, which he absolutely loves. It's right up his street, and he's excited and he couldn't wait for his first day. And he thanked me, and he said it was a valuable lesson that he learned, and he recognized that lesson. So basically the moral of the story is ask your guides and angels for help, but then definitely put in that work. And it's the same principle applies if you're manifesting, which I have got a course on manifestation. If you want to manifest something in your life and something that's really important to you, ask your guides and angels for the help. Tell them what it is that you really wish to manifest. And then you put in the effort. What can you do to make your manifestations a reality? What can you do? What efforts can you take? Put in that time, that effort, and that work. And by working together with your spirit guides, collaborating, you can create something really beautiful. And you can make your dreams, your realities, everything a reality. Yeah. So I'll share another example with you. I had a friend who was suffering from bad depression. She would sit at my home each day crying because she felt so depressed. And my heart just went out to her. I wanted to help her so much. She was a dear friend. She was important to me, and I could see the pain that she was going through, and I just wanted to help her. And she was around every day, literally every day, crying, and I'd be consoling her. And this went on for months and months. One afternoon, she visited me and she asked me to please do a reading for her. While doing her reading, her spirit guides came through, and they said that my friend needs to see a counselor or someone who can help her with her emotions. Her guides told me to pass on to my friend that she needs to fight the depression, and she is a stronger person than she actually realizes. They told me that her depression was linked to her husband, as she was in a very, very unhappy marriage, which I later found out was true. At this point, she hadn't told me any of this, so I had no idea. I just thought that she was happy with her husband. Her guides also told me that she would not leave her husband, but if she did leave, she would feel so much happier and would really help with her depression. That was the main cause of her depression and why she felt so sad and so lost and just unhappy, like so unfulfilled in her life, is because she was in this unhappy marriage. And that what she needed more than anything was just to be on her own, to leave her husband, be on her own for a while, to re-find herself. They said that they would help her as much as she needed help if she was willing to help herself too. They told me that if she left her husband, then they would support her and make sure that she was well cared for and had all the money that she needed to get by. They would not let her go without. They would help her get in touch with people who can help her get back on her feet and give her the support that she needed through this difficult time. I passed on her spirit guide's message to her during the reading. Unfortunately, my friend, she just never took any of the advice of her guides. She did not see a counselor. She did not seek help for her depression. She continued to stay with her husband. And a year later, and she was still so depressed, to the point where she did not want to live anymore. She was considering suicide, and she was at a very, very low place in her life. She was so unhappy. It even makes me feel like crying now because I tried so much to help her. It makes me feel like crying. She was just so unhappy in her marriage, and most of her friends had left her as they found her too depressing to be around. So she was lonely. And the reason that she was still so very depressed was because She did not take any of the advice that her guides had given her or passed on to her. She was still living with her husband, and she had not tried to help herself. She kept asking her guides to help her, yet she was not willing to put the help in herself. Then she got angry with me, and she was telling me my readings are not accurate. Her guides, she was angry with her guides and angry with her angels. She believed they didn't care about her, they weren't listening, that she was still so miserable, and she was blaming her guides and blaming her angels. And it was just so sad. It was so sad. After about 1.5 years, sadly, our friendship did end because it did get too much. She was just constantly very depressed, very sad, and she wasn't willing to change her own life. And as much as I loved her and cared about her, I had to walk away from that friendship because it was having a negative effect on my own well-being. I was becoming depressed. I was worrying sick about her constantly. And no matter how much I tried to help her, she wouldn't take the advice. So she was just stuck in a loop. So I had to walk away. And as far as I know, she's still very unhappy and still with her husband, last I heard. So that's a sad story. It was quite a sad one. I still feel quite sad about it, even now. And this is about 5-6 years later. But if only she had listened to her spirit guide, she'd be living a really happy life now with a man whom she would love and who would be right for her. She would not have depression. She'll have a complete different life. But because she didn't take that action, she only daydreamed about it, daydreamed about what life could be like without actually jumping into the unknown and taking that leap of faith. Yes, it would have been terrifying for her, terrifying, but it would have brought her happiness. So I do hope that one day, I wish her all the best. I hope that one day she'll find happiness. I really do. But that's her journey. It's her choice. That's just another example about how our guides, we can ask for their help. But if we don't put that work in, nothing will change. We have to put that work into. So that's a very important point. And that's why I shared those 2 stories with you. 2 very different stories, but both of them are quite hard-hitting, and it really shows how us putting that work in and working together with our guides can really make a difference. It's so important we work together with our spirit guides to make a difference in our lives and the lives of others. We'll now look at how to find out how many spirit guides you have. Each and every one of us has many, many different spirit guides come in and out of our lives at any different time. Each person has different amounts of spirit guides in their life, where one person may only have a couple of guides, another person could have up to 30 or 40. It all depends on our individual situation and purposes. Some guides work more with us than other guides, depending again on our situation at the time. This next exercise will help you to find out how many spirit guides you have. Please do not give up if nothing comes to you first time round. Keep practicing and you will soon see some results. So all you need to do is try and relax your mind. I usually find this is a good exercise to do at night time before you're falling asleep. So usually just before you're going to bed. So lay down and get ready for bed and get comfortable and just bring your focus to your breathing. It's not even going into a deep meditation. It's just a quick exercise where you just calm your mind and just feel relaxed. And that's why just before bed is quite a good time. And all you need to do is when you feel ready and when you feel relaxed, just ask your spirit guides to please tell you how many guides you have. You can just say out loud or in your mind, my spirit guides, I call upon you now. Please tell me, how many spirit guides do I have? Thank you. And then just wait. Wait and see what comes through to you. Do not judge what comes. Just accept it and be thankful. You may hear a number, or you may feel, just have an intuition, a sense. You may see an image of a number pop in your mind. It'll be different for everyone. Please know that when you're trying to find out how many guides you have, you will either see, like I say, a number in your mind, or you'll hear something, or you'll just feel it, or you could even hear some taps. Perhaps you hear tapping outside, and it'll be like tap, tap, tap. Count how many taps you hear. Our spirit guides speak to us in so many different ways. You could hear banging sounds, footsteps, noises, car hooting outside. Just take note of the noises and the sounds and count how many bangs or whatever your ears that you hear. Or you may just feel it. You may just see it in your mind. Like I say, our spirit guides and angels, they do communicate with each of us in so many different ways. It varies depending on the guides who are coming through at the time of the reading. It is extremely important to always remember to thank your spirit guides each time you work with them. So after you've asked them to help you find out how many guides you have, then just say a quick thank you and say, look, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for doing this for me. They would really appreciate it. You can also ask for confirmations. So for example, if you feel you've got 5 or 6 spirit guides, you can say, please, dear spirit, please send me confirmation. Do I have 5 or 6 spirit guides? Am I seeing or hearing or feeling correctly? And then just trust whatever comes to you. Your spirit guides will confirm things for you in different ways. They may take over the next 2 or 3 days. You may keep seeing signs. They'll let you know that it is confirmation that what you're hearing is correct. That this is how many spirit guides you have. So they do love to give you confirmation. It can take 2 to 3 days, but just persevere and you will get that confirmation from your guides and your angels. So that's pretty simple, a very simple exercise. And to find out your guides' names and to see them as well as sensing them, it's very similar to this, which I will explain in a moment as we're about to do what your guides' names are. So that's the next step. And find somewhere that is nice and quiet and where you know you'll not be disturbed. Have a piece of paper with you and a pen. Just sit down and make sure you're comfortable and you're in a good position, and just bring your awareness and your focus to your breathing. Again, just take in deep breaths and allow yourself to become calm, calm your mind, and just focus. And when you feel ready, just ask your spirit guides. Just ask them, say, please, dear spirit guides. You can say it out loud or in your mind. Please tell me, what are your names? What are your names? If you found out that you had more than one spirit guide, for example, when you did the how many spirit guides do you have, then on your piece of paper, you could write down 1, 2, 3, 4. You could list the amount of numbers of how many spirit guides you found out you had. Then ask your guides to please take it in turns to tell you their names. And each time you find out one of their names, just write it down on your piece of paper. Again, just trust whatever comes through to you. You may hear a name pop in your mind. You may just feel it. You may sense it. You may see a name in your mind's eye. You may even see, for example, an image pop in your mind of an old friend. So that could be that your spirit guide has the same name as this old friend, and that's why you're seeing this image of your friend. Or you may see an image of a rose, a beautiful flower, a rose, and that could be symbolizing that your spirit guide's name is Rose. So trust whatever comes to you. This is where you really need to trust your senses. You may just hear someone walking past down the street as you're busy doing the exercise, and they could be calling out a friend's name. What is that name? That could be the name of your spirit guide. So our spirit guides speak to us in so many different ways. Again, if you need confirmation, you can ask your guides to please send you confirmation. They'll be more than happy to do so. It may take 2 or 3 days, but you'll get there. You'll get the confirmation. They'll make sure you get it. Because they love sending confirmation. So just ask, please send me confirmation that these names are accurate, and you definitely will get confirmation. When I first did this exercise, I kept hearing the words John the Baptist, so I thought this was not possible. This is when I first started really getting in touch with my guides. As I got older and I learned I had these spirit guides. So when I was younger, I didn't realize that the spirits I was seeing was my guides. And so I tried doing this exercise, and I thought, no, this can't be possible. But I continued to do the exercise. So I asked my spirit guides to please send me just confirmation. Is John the Baptist one of my spirit guides? And I did. Over the next 2 to 3 days, I received plenty of confirmation. It came through signs and the internet and books, and I kept hearing the name John the Baptist. It kept being brought up all the time. It's a name I didn't really hear often. So, yeah, they sent me confirmation. Our guides are more than happy to confirm for us. If you ask for the confirmation, they will. And if you need that extra proof, you can say, give me 3 signs, and guaranteed they will send you 3 signs. They'll find a way. I love our spirit guides. They always find a way. So that's how you can find out what your spirit guides' names are. I'll now teach you how to sense and feel your spirit guides' presence. All our spirit guides, as well as angels, they all have a specific energy and aura, a presence about them, and you can sense what their presence is. So once you've learned this, it'll be amazing, because if a spirit guide comes and stands by you or is around you, you'll feel it. And especially when you get to know your different guides and what each one's specific energy feels like, then you'll learn which spirit guide is with you. You'll be like, oh, I can feel so-and-so's with me at this time. And you get to know which spirit's helping you in your everyday life or helping you during readings, if you're doing a reading for someone. So it's pretty simple. All you need to do is, again, this is like the first exercise when you're finding out how many guides you have. The best time to do this is at night time, just before you go into bed. Or you could do it first thing in the morning when you wake up, or just when you get a moment of peace and quiet. Anytime, really, when you've got time to yourself. Just sit or lay down comfortably and just make yourself feel completely relaxed. And just bring all your awareness to your breathing, and just to help yourself relax and calm. And you do this until you feel completely relaxed. The main thing is just getting yourself in a relaxed state and just calming your mind from all the day's chatter. And then once you've done that, and once you're calm, just take notice of what the room around you feels like. What does the energy feel like in the room? Just like tune in to the energy of the room and spend a few moments in that energy, really taking note. And then when you feel ready, you can ask your spirit guides, say, please. I ask my spirit guides to come through one at a time. If by this time you know what your spirit guides' names are, then you can say, I'd like so-and-so to please come forward first. And please show me, what does your energy feel like? What do you feel like? Help me to sense and feel you. You can use your own words. And then just as you did before when you were trying to tune into what the energy of the room feels like, you do this with your guide. You just close your mind, close your eyes, and just feel. Feel. Do you notice any changes in the temperature? Do you feel a warmth on a particular side of you, your left or your right? Do you feel tingling perhaps, or goosebumps or prickly feelings? Do you feel warmth by your feet? Just take note of the energy around you, how you feel, any sensations, anything like that. And then you'll know exactly what that particular spirit's energy feels like once you've really tuned into their energy. And it's going to take practice. This will take practice. With practice and perseverance, you really can tune into that vibration of that specific spirit guide. Once you know what one of your spirit guides' energy feels like, you can write that down on a piece of paper or keep note of it. For example, just saying a random name, you could say, my spirit guide Angela's energy feels like a wave of warmth running down my left side. And so you know when you feel that you're feeling your spirit guide Angela's energy. You can then move on to your other spirit guides. So you can ask the next spirit guide if you found their name out. If you haven't, you just say, another spirit guide, will you please step forward? What does your unique energy feel like? And again, you tune into the energy of the room. Notice any changes in yourself, how you feel in the room, what the room feels like, and just really tune in. Take as much time with each spirit guide as you can to really feel and know that energy until you're convinced that this is how the specific energy feels. Yeah, so it's that simple, and write it all down so you've got it on notes. I always say with any spiritual work, it's good to keep a psychic journal or a spiritual journal where you just write all your notes and your development notes down, experiences, everything. Dreams as well, it's always good to write your dreams down. So just record everything, and you just do that, and you work through all your guides and all your angels until you've learned what each individual guide and angel's specific energy and presence feels like. And then you'll always know when they're around you and which one is with you. And we'll now look at seeing your spirit guides. You learn how to see your spirit guide and know what they look like. Again, just find somewhere nice and quiet. I do prefer doing this before I go to bed or first thing in the morning, or could be any time in the day. It's just long as you know you're not going to be disturbed and you're going to have a moment to yourself. You can lay down or sit. It's completely up to you. Get very comfortable and just bring all your awareness and your focus to your breathing, just to help yourself relax. Being completely relaxed and having a clear mind is important with all of these exercises. And that's why you're just sitting down, breathing, relaxing, and getting yourself all nice and calm. This will really help you. And then, like with the previous exercise, when you feel ready, you can just ask each guide. If you know their name, you can call them individually, or you can just say, well, the first spirit guide, please come forward. Please show me, what do you look like? How do you look? Please let me know. Give me signs, let me know. And just close your eyes and trust whatever comes to you. Trust any images, thoughts that come to you. What do you see? What do you feel? Do you see a person in your mind's eye? Do you see an animal? Do you see bright colors or lights? Do you see feathers or hearts? Just trust whatever pictures come to you, what feelings, what impressions, any words that pop into your mind. Just trust. And if you don't get anything at first, and please don't worry, just persevere. This is all about persevering. It's practice. You may do this exercise maybe 4 or 5 times and you not get anything, and then all of a sudden, bam, you see your guides and your angels. And don't worry, 9 out of 10 times you don't see spirit in a physical form, like with your physical eyes. You'll see them in your mind. You may see an image of a person in your mind. You may get different features. Same with all the exercises. So if you're afraid that you're going to see a full-blown spirit, then don't worry. It's quite rare that you would see that. In these exercises, these early stages, it's more just, it's almost like a video being played in your mind. You see pictures or flashes. Try to take in as much detail as possible, and try and see these images as vividly as you can. If they don't come, then don't force them, because the more you force it, you could actually block the images from coming forward. So just try and be relaxed. The trick here is to be completely relaxed and focusing on your breathing, and just close your eyes and you ask your guides, what do you look like? May the first guide come across, show me what you look like. I'd really appreciate it. And then just quiet your mind and just trust anything that comes through. And like I say, just keep practicing. Keep practicing. The more you practice, the better. And you can always ask for confirmation and stuff like that. Ask the angels for confirmation. And then just record everything in your journal or in your psychic journal, what you saw. And once you're happy with the first guide that came through and you feel like you're confident that you know what they look like, you can ask the next guide to come through and the next one until you've worked through all the guides on your list. So yeah, give that a go, and hopefully it'll give you a good idea of what your spirit guides look like. And again, I can't stress enough, patience and practice. That's what's going to help with this, is a lot of practice and a lot of patience. Learning to see our guides, to hear our guides, to sense and feel our guides and our angels. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes practice, it takes time, it takes effort. 9 out of 10 times it won't happen on the first go. So it really does involve persistence and, excuse me, you constantly working on opening up that third eye chakra and opening up all your senses and really getting in tune with your spiritual side, as well as raising your vibration is sorry, I'm talking so much, I'm losing my voice. Raising your vibration is ever so important. The higher your vibration is, the easier it'll be for you to see them. And spirit won't show themselves to you in full form until you're completely ready. And you'll know when that is. So hopefully you'll find this to be a helpful exercise. I'll now share with you signs from spirit, signs that spirit and angels that they send us. They love sending us signs that they're with us. And if ever you feel lonely or feel as though you would like confirmation that your guides and angels are with you, then all you have to do is ask. Your guides and angels will send you a sign that they are by your side. You may find that you keep finding tiny white feathers laying around, or you find tiny hearts, or you keep seeing hearts, birds, or you could see angel-shaped clouds. Your angels and guides will always let you know one way or the other that they are with you, especially when you keep seeing signs that repeat itself, like repeating numbers. That's usually the angels trying to pass a message on to you. Repeating hearts. You keep finding hearts, keep finding little coins and pennies laying around. Or someone keeps saying a certain word, or you keep hearing a certain name all the time. These are all signs from your angels and your guides that they are with you. I'm going to share you some examples. I've had so many examples, but these are just a few that I'm going to share with you of my own personal experiences. Whenever I feel down, or I feel lonely, or I just need confirmation that I'm not on my own, that my guides and angels are with me, I'll always ask them to please send me a sign. I'll then find that I just keep finding tiny little white feathers. They love sending me white feathers. Sometimes I'll keep finding tiny hearts, or other heart shapes will appear everywhere in unusual places. I also get a lot of angel numbers. I'm always getting angel numbers, and the message is always exactly what I need to hear at that time. I love receiving these signs. It's so warming, it's comforting. And just as you will find them comforting when you start getting these signs. If you have a loved one in spirit that you really want to connect with, then you can ask your loved one in spirit. Just say, please, could you send me a sign that you're with me? Are you here? Can you hear me? Can you send me a sign? And you may find that you keep smelling their perfume, or if they used to smoke a certain type of tobacco, you may keep smelling that tobacco. You may keep hearing their name, or hearing a song play that used to be their song. And even if you don't ask for these signs, sometimes they just send you these signs just to let you know at random that they're with you. So it's very important to pay attention to what's going on around you, to your world, your atmosphere, anything. Because there's so many times that spirit have actually sent us signs and we just don't see it. We don't recognize it. Because sometimes these signs can be very, very subtle. So subtle that it's easy to be missed. It's easy to go unnoticed. But once you really develop all your senses, you start to heighten your senses, you start to raise your vibration, become more in tune with your guides and angels and the energies that are around you, you will start to feel and find that you see these signs a lot more. The more you open up spiritually, basically, the more you will see these signs from your angels and your guides, because your senses will be alert, your intuition will be more alert, your vibration would have risen, and just makes it that much easier to connect with our guides and angels, to feel their presence, to see them, to hear them, to sense them, and to recognize the signs that they are sending you to let you know that they are with you. And it is such a comfort, especially when you really just need that comfort. It's a comfort knowing that they're there. We'll now move on to the final section, which is automatic writing. Automatic writing is a beautiful way in which you can connect with your spirit guides and angels. It is very simple and easy to do, and it doesn't take much time or effort. It may just take a few attempts, but keep up with it, and before you know it, you would have written or typed conversations with your guides and your angels. It's a real way of connecting with your guides and angels. Before I did video readings for people, I used to do readings for my clients through typing. I used to type an email to them with their reading, and that was automatic writing. So you can do it through typing, you can do it through handwriting. What is automatic writing? Automatic writing is when a spirit works through you to pass on messages in written form or typed form. The spirit who is communicating to you will use your hand, your pen, and your paper to pass on these messages to you. They'll work through you to pass messages on. You can use a pen and paper to do automatic writing, or even a keyboard. Like I said, you can do it either way. Whatever feels most comfortable for you. I perform automatic writing all the time when I'm doing readings for people through typing, when I'm doing typing out readings. Even when I'm writing my courses, like this course that I wrote, a lot of it was automatic. A lot of it I was just typing, and my guides worked through me and they typed it out, and I looked at it afterwards, like, I can't even remember typing that. So our guides and angels work through us in that way. So we'll look at now how does it work? How does automatic writing work? When performing automatic writing, one needs to quiet their mind. So it's very important to be in a complete state of relaxation and calmness. So like with the exercises that we've just done, try to just find somewhere where you'll not be disturbed, be calm, relaxed, be quiet, don't have anything noisy around you. Just try and calm your mind. Have a piece of paper in front of you, or your laptop or your computer, and a pen if you're writing. And then just try and quiet your mind. Focus on your breathing. You could imagine like you're just taking all your thoughts and worries and concerns of the day and just putting it in a trash can and just saying, look, I'll deal with that later. This is my time with my guides and my angels. Once you feel ready and you feel really calm and really relaxed, then you can ask Archangel Michael. He's the archangel to call upon for protection. And I always do this when doing any type of spiritual work. I always ask for this protection. So you just ask Archangel Michael, please could you stand by my side, put a bubble of angelic protection around me, and keep me protected during this exercise. May only spirit guides of the highest vibration come through. Protect my home, protect myself. This is optional. I would recommend it though. When doing even doing readings for clients, always ask Archangel Michael to protect your energy first, because you're picking up on other people's energy and you don't know what you're going to be carrying along with you. So it's important to keep yourself protected. I do have a protection and grounding course, which teaches you all about how to keep yourself protected and grounded. Once you've done that, then you can bring your focus back to your breathing again and just help to get yourself really, really relaxed. All you have to do next is ask your spirit guides or your angels. You can ask one specific guide if you know your guides' names. If you don't, then just any spirit guide. Just say, I call upon my highest. I always work with the highest level spirit guides. Say, please, what messages do you want for me? You could ask questions. You could write a list of questions with enough space between each question for automatic writing. And you can ask your guide specifically. Say, please, help to answer this question through automatic writing. and you write your question. It could be your own worries, your own concerns, just things you want answers to, and you just close your eyes, or you can have your eyes open, completely up to you. Put your pen on the paper or your hands on the keyboard, and then just let it flow. Let it flow. If it's maybe quiet for a bit, you may have nothing coming through, but just be quiet. And then just write whatever comes to you. You may hear random words. You may just feel things. You may see images. So say, for example, you see an image of an apple. Write down apple. Don't question it. Just relax, be calm, and just write down whatever comes to you. And hopefully, with practice, as you keep practicing this, you'll find your hand will just move on its own. Or you'll find that you'll be writing yourself, but it'll just be, you won't even focus on what it is that's coming through at the time. You'll just be writing and writing and writing. And then afterwards, you look back and you think, wow, I don't even recall writing any of this. So it'll take practice. It's going to take time. It won't happen overnight. You may even have to do this exercise 3 or 4 times. So the basic of it is that you've got to be completely relaxed before you start. And then you just put your pen on your paper, your hands on your keyboard, whichever it's going to be, and you just go with the flow. Just go with the flow. Just let your hand either guide itself or just write down whatever comes to you, any feelings. It'll start off with like just a random word you might get, or a sentence, a feeling, a sensation. Just write it down. And before you know it, at first it'll feel like you're the one writing, but after a while it'll just take over, and practice will make perfect with this. You can ask questions. You could just do freestyle, just whatever it is that you need to hear at this time. It's completely up to you, whether you ask personal questions to your guides, whether you ask them information about themselves, or whether you just say whatever's meant to be, and you just put your hand on the paper and you just write down anything that comes to you. And before you know it, you'll just be writing pages and pages of work. So that's the basic of how we do automatic writing. It is really a truly wonderful way of connecting with our guides and angels. And it does take practice, but with time, you will be able to do it. You definitely will. The most important thing is to be relaxed, and in that relaxed state. And you can even ask to feel your guide's energy before you actually start the process of doing the automatic writing. Now look at homework. Homework is simple. It's just practice. The more you practice all these different exercises that I've taught you through this course, all the different meditations, the automatic writing, the better it'll be, the stronger your intuition will come. So it's worth persevering with. A lot of this, you won't get results on the first go. Some of you may. Depends on how heightened and developed your intuition is already. But for others, it is going to take a bit of time, a bit of effort, and a lot of practice. But you will get there. Perseverance wins the race, basically. I think that's the right way of saying it. So do the awakening of your imagination meditations. They will definitely help so much. Try doing all the different tips I gave you on how to strengthen your imagination and develop your senses. Also try and be more creative if you can. Daydreaming, that is very important. Daydream as much as you can. And daydreaming is fun. You're going into your own world. You can create your own stories. You can do anything in your daydreams. So try and do that as much as you can. Be creative. Spend a lot of time in nature. That really helps to raise your vibration. It also helps to ground and center you. Do the exercises and keep practicing them. The ones with how to find out how many guides you have, what your spirit guides' names are. And try practicing feeling what your spirit guides' energies feel like. Also practice, keep asking your guides and angels for help, even if it's just little things. It's just building that bond with them, building that connection with them, which is ever, ever so important. And the more you build, the stronger your connection will become with them. Also try and overcome any guilty feelings you have for asking for help. If you are someone who struggles asking for help, and just keep telling yourself your guardians and angels, they want you to ask for their help. They want to help you. Record everything down in your journal. You can record your dreams, your experiences, the exercises you've done. Also write a letter to your spirit guides and angels. Remember the exercise where you write a letter to them. Also start training your mind to be more open to what's out there, not so closed off. The more practice you do, the better, like I say, you'll find it, the easier you'll find it to connect with your guides and angels. Talk to your guides every day. Spend 5 or 10 minutes, make an appointment time to meet with them, a time where you have that quality time with your guides and angels, and try and keep it to a certain amount of time each day. Let's make a specific time of each day where you connect with your guides and angels. Keep practicing the automatic writing. You could try asking simple little questions, and then you can build on those questions. So just keep practicing this lesson, basically. And even if it takes you a month, 2 months, we all grow and develop at different stages. So some of you, you may get this on the first time watching this. For others of you, you may not hear or see your guides or sense them until after a month or a week or 3 weeks of doing these exercises. Go with the flow and work at a pace that best suits you. The most important thing is to not rush things. Take your time. Spiritual development takes time. It's like with learning anything. If you learn maths, for example, or a specific subject, you won't just learn it overnight. It takes time, effort, and energy to learn something and really grasp something. And you'll do it. I have every faith in you that you will do it. So thank you. Thank you for taking up this course. I really hope that you found it to be helpful. Again, if you have any questions or you need any support throughout the course, then please don't hesitate to get in touch with me through my Etsy. You can contact me there. I will leave my email in the description box of the video of this course. And I hope that you have a fantastic evening or morning or afternoon, whatever time it is where you are. And I wish you every bit of success on your spiritual journey. Thanks for watching.